Welcome back. So in our Selenium with Java series, today we are going to see how we can scroll into an element. It means that let's say that if we have a drop down which is having lots of options and we need to scroll to see the options, and also there are situations where if you have a web table and that consists of lot of different rows and you want to scroll inside. In our previous session we have seen how we can scroll on the web page itself, but we didn't see that how we can scroll inside a particular element. So you can see this is actually the window scrolling, and this is something your the element scrolling, okay, inside an element. So this is a element. Probably this could be a like a div element, this could be a span, this could be even a table where it consists of lot of different options. The same thing if you see here, this could be a select what do you call element, or could be like some of the list items that you need to scroll. Okay, so again we can use the JavaScript because it is really one of the best thing that we can use with Selenium, and it is very much stable enough to use as well. So let's utilize our previous experience of learning the JavaScript executor and implement to scroll inside an element. Okay, so for this what I'm going to do, I'll copy our previous session and I will paste it, and I will say scroll test underscore element inside an element. Okay, so for the first thing, let me first do some prerequisites. Let me go to this particular URL, and for this I will be changing this one to this URL. Okay, once I'm gone into that, I will be keeping the same thing as I told. The same line of code I can use for any of the application, right? And then I will be creating the JavaScript executor object, that is the JS object. By using this JS object, I will be scrolling inside. Okay, but I have to identify that particular element, right? So for this what I'm going to do, first thing first, I need to identify this particular element, right? This is not directly coming automatically. You have to click on this particular button so that this pop-up is coming. So the first thing is that I need to right click inspect to get this particular element. The JS name is there. So let's see, and let's do one thing. Let's go to the selectors hub and let's try to see how many options are present by this JS name. Need to set this up, and here square bracket, this is the CSS selector. You can see there are actually 73 elements, so this is for sure not the option that I'm looking for. Okay, so if I'm taking, these are the individual elements it is coming. So let's go with a top. Actually you can see all are like the individual elements, but yes, this is the one. So if I copy this one, you can see it is only one element and highlighting this one. So I can take directly this one and we'll go here. Let's delete all these things I really don't need, and here I'll say web element and element equal to driver dot find element, and I will create a by dot css selector, and inside this I will be typing, and I will say el dot click. That's it. Now this will pop up the options, right? That these options will be popped up. The second thing that I'm going to do is that I need to find it out inside there is a tab. You can see this. Okay, let me do one thing. So let's do one thing, go here and go to the parent. You can see I want to identify this one actually basically. So inside this I need to go where the actual scroll tab is there. So if you are not understanding, let me do one thing, copy this one, and here because this is a class name, I can put a dot here and then another dot so that space is normalized. And if I press enter, you can see the entire tab is now I'm getting where exactly this scroll is present. You can see the scroll is present inside this. So I will use this one, but before to this I will use the JS now. Now what I'm going to do here, let's wait for some time so that the pop-up will come stable. Okay, now here I will be using js.execute script. Okay, and inside this I will be identifying that element. So document, and normally what I do, I go to this console and I will type this one dot query selector. Okay, not query command but query selector, and inside this I will be pasting this one single quote. You can see it is identifying. Now I will put a dot and you can see there is a scroll method is coming, and there is something called as scroll top. Okay, and this is not a method but a property where I can assign some value. You can see it is scrolling. Again, if I do the same thing, it's not do that, because from this top it went till this one, that is my 200. So from zeroth of this height, so this particular query selector's height starts from here. From here it is just going 200 pixels. How much? Now this is my first element, so it goes up to this, that is the 200. So when you want for the first time scrolling, you can use this scroll top. But there is another option I can show you that, which scrolls every time by using this scroll by. We have seen this one right in the window scrolling. Now see, that was a window scrolling because the whole page we were scrolling. But this is the individual element scrolling. Now you can see it is asking the XY coordinates, and I can give edge 0 because I want to do a vertical scrolling. I'll say 400. Let's say that, and I will do, see, every time I will write this one, you can see it's keep on scrolling that one. And let's come back till the end of that. So you can use this scroll top, which is only for the first time it will happen whatever you are doing. But if you want to do a continuation scroll, you can give scroll by 0 or 400 or 500, the Y coordinate I can say. I'll just do a double click here, I mean double quotes, and inside this I will write this one, as simple as that. So I will be clicking on this drop down so that the pop-up will come. Then I will be scrolling 200 pixels from top to bottom. Let's first see this one, whether this is working fine or not. This launches and you can see it just scrolled a bit. You can see this scrolled a bit. Let's say that there are certain elements are there which is like a horizontal scrolling. Let's say that there is a table which is like having 15 to 16 column data. Now in that way you want to scroll actually, so you can identify that particular table. Like it's not always query selector, you can go with document dot get element by id, get elements by your what you call tag name or anything. You can do that, give the locator pattern, and you can just say scroll top. Now if you're giving scroll top, it is top to bottom, right? If you want to do a vertical or a horizontal scrolling, not a problem. Let's copy paste the other one, that is this one, and give it a sort here. Just write this one, and inside this let me copy paste this line, and inside this, oops, let's delete this one and copy paste this entire line. Control X and do a Control B. Okay, now what this will do, first it will run for 200 pixels, then it will go with the 400 pixels extra because I've given 0 to this one. Let's give a wait so that you can see the run. Give 1 second, and then let's run it, and let me again execute another one. Let's give, because it goes very fast, I'm giving just 1 second pause so that you can see that. So go here and do another one. So three different scrollings it will do inside that particular element. Let's run. First scroll, then 400, another 400, wait for 5 seconds, and then close it. Okay, so if you're not getting the scroll happen too fast, you can just pause for a moment and then drag slowly into this video, then you will get it, the actual scrolling that happened. Okay, so this is on the drop down, right? But as I told at the beginning of the session, even for the web tables also we can do that. So the same concept, like whatever we have used, like this scroll top, scroll by, the same thing you can use for these things also, for a table as well. And for this, let me quickly go over to this particular URL. for sure these things will not work. This is actually very much specific to that application. Okay, now here let me do one thing. Site URL, I'm just copy pasting so that it won't get confused for you guys in future. Okay, and here I'm doing this site URL equal to this one. Okay, now here the second table is kind of taking lot of scrolling, right? Here you need, so the first thing I first need to scroll to this one, so which is actually the table 2. If you come here, this is a table 2. So I will first do one thing, I'll wait for this particular table, I mean scroll this, so I can use the existing scrolling here. So I'm very lazy, so what I will do, I'll first scroll this one. Here let's go to this one, and here uncomment this one, and then let's just scroll 300. That's it. And if I just scroll 300, it will come to this so that we can see the actual scrolling. Okay, now here, so the table 0, sorry, the table 02 is my ID, right? You can see this is my ID. So inside this actually I can do a scroll. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the same line of code I will be writing, and then let's go here. Now it's a query selector, right? Table 2 is a ID, so what I can do, table 02. Okay, query selector is nothing but your CSS selector only. It's an ID, and I'm doing a scroll top of 200. Let's see whether this works fine or not. So for this, let me save it and let's run this. Okay, it scrolled, and here also you can see it scrolled, this one. It just happened bit faster. You can just again pause it and you can see. So that scrolled. The same thing, I can even run this one, and let's keep the same thing, but for sure here I need to change the CSS selector to this one. Now in this case you will see a 200 pixel down, and then you will see a 400 pixel down, and the same thing. Let me run this one inside this. Okay, let's run. First it scrolled on the page. You can see first scroll happened. Okay, the second scroll also happened, that we didn't see, but it happened a bit faster. You can even see that while you're what do you call, executing this one. Fine, so that is how you can do. Now one question it is, you might come that what is the need for this scrolling actually. So I'll tell you, there are a couple of applications are there. Like for an instance, let's take about this particular table. You can see there are a lot of data, like I think nearly hundreds of rows of data is there. But for the security reason, what, when you right click on this and inspect it, now at this time you might see all the TRs, you can see all the TRs you see, but in real time couple of applications they don't show you all this TR. Okay, they will just show you the TR that is available on this screen only. It means that 1 2 3 4 5 6, only 6 TRs only you will see. After this only you will see. Now when you scroll, then only you will see the rest TRs. Now that's where actually your scrolling is required. So what you can do, if it is really that case where you can't get all these things on one instance, what you can do, you can create a list item, and inside that, first thing is that first your list, you append all these TRs. Now the second time you scroll again, again you scroll, and then you put it till you will be going till the end of this. You can keep on scrolling and do that. Okay, so you can keep on appending these 7 rows into that list element till the end, where you will get the entire TR into that, and you can verify, you can go with like how many rows are there, and then if any TR text that you want to get it, and then if you want to click on delete button like we have here this demo, you can do those operations. So because of that it is required. And most of the organization applications that I've used for security reason, they don't really show you all the rows actually. So you have to scroll, you have to use either this scroll top is 200, or this is for one time, so you shouldn't be using that. You will be using this scroll by 0 to 400, or whatever scrolling you want to take it, and then keep it into a set or list in Java. keep it, and then you can count, you can select, or you can even verify against a specific text. Okay, so that's pretty much it to scroll into a web element. So hope these three sessions related to the JavaScript really helped you guys, and if it really helped, do share with your friends and do subscribe to this YouTube channel and stay tuned. Thank you for watching.